let's engage the thoughts of Professor Ransford Gyampo, who is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana. Prof, a very good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Good evening.
Right, we want to speak to you on two key issues, one having to do with the NDC's demonstration and the EC's position that all the concerns raised by the NDC has been addressed. First of all, what are your immediate thoughts on these concerns that a stakeholder like the NDC is saying that I have legitimate concerns, but the EC says those concerns have been addressed already? Does that in any way hurt the process of our democracy, you think?
Well, I think that the concerns that are being raised have not been refuted by the Electoral Commission. They are legitimate, and if the Electoral Commission insists that those concerns have been addressed, then the best thing to do is to bring these parties on the table and let them know that truly the concerns have been addressed. There's no need to for the two parties to be talking at each other in the air. One will say we have concerns, it's not addressed. The other will say that we have addressed them. And one must show leadership in handling some of these things. And I expect that the EC, being the arbiter, would do better than just being heard in the air, insisting that we've addressed them. And the other party will say we haven't, and we want XYZ to be done. Another important thing that I think we must all add our voice to is the call for audits of the voters register. If there are really legitimate concerns that are still lingering on, then I keep asking myself, what would an audit of the register mean for the independence and for the functioning of the Electoral Commission? If the audits of the voters register would not help the Electoral Commission's independence and its functioning, then I think that there may be no justifiable reason for the Electoral Commission to say no. On the other hand, if the audit of the register would hit the independence and functioning of the Electoral Commission, then there can be a certain dialogue that would reach out to the opposition to let them know that if we do X, Y, Z, we would suffer. But if that is not the case, then I think that the call for audit, just for the purposes of ensuring that there's transparency, just for the purposes of ensuring that whoever may have tampered with certain processes is brought to book, is something that would be good for the image of the commission itself. So I think that we shouldn't allow this simple matter to bring about tension and chaos in the country. In Kenya, we did an extensive audit of their voters' roll, and all issues of opacity and suspicion were brought to a close before their previous elections. And so I think that it is good for the image and the quest for transparency of the Electoral Commission that this demand is heeded to, and more so if it is established that such conduct of an audit in the voters' roll will not hex anything. Then I don't see why anybody would say they would do it.
Right. And Prof, still on that, we know that the EC's position has also been made quite public. What do you make of those who are already saying that it looks as though the Electoral Commission is trying to hide something, for which reason they say they have done their own cleansing of the register, so they don't need an external auditor to look through it? Do you share that thought?
In an environment of distrust, you don't insist that you have done your own cleansing and expect that the other party will swallow hook, line, and sinker whatever you've told them. It appears that if Bossman Asare go about talking the way he's talking, it betrays his fundamental misunderstanding of the environment within which the commission is operating. You're operating in an environment where the opposition always distrusts you, and so you don't, and they are not kids. And so you don't just go talking about and the fact that we have done X, Y, Z, and expecting them to swallow hook, line, and sinker whatever you said. You have to prove. You have to show work, and you have to sit down with them and to show them that you told us X, Y, Z, and then we have done A, B, C. You reach that kind of consensus with them before you come out to talk. But if you have not done that, then it's like you're also being propagandistic, trying to shape up public sentiment in support of you and opposition to the opposition. And I think that would not give the Electoral Commission the kind of institutional peace it needs to work, to go about its work. And so let Bossman Asare keep quiet and try to engage the opposition to build consensus behind the scenes, rather than trying to talk down some of the demands of the opposition and to create an impression as if whatever he says should be taken as biblical instructions and injunctions or Quranic instructions to the political parties. It wouldn't work, especially given the environment of distrust that characterizes the activities of the Electoral Commission.
Right, Prof, kindly hold on for me a second. We just want to bring in the second subject, which has to do with the IEA's position that they want to organize a debate for both political parties. In fact, for all political parties, presidential debate that is. But it looks as though the two key parties want to pull out of the debate. We are told by reports from the quarters of the NPP that they will also not participate in the IEA debate because the NDC says they will not participate in it. Let's bring you that story briefly, then maybe we can pick your thoughts. Also because of your previous work with the IEA, maybe you have some professional experience you would want to share with us on that. Kindly hold on for us.
The Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, has scheduled September 18, 2024 to open the presidential encounter series as part of activities leading to the December 7 polls. The leader and founder of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, Elias Cheda, will be the first to take his turn at the encounter.
The purpose of the evening encounters and the debates is to provide a platform for the candidates to present their visions, plans, strategies, and explain further their manifestos to the electorate and allow the electorate to ask questions to enable them make informed choices on election day 7th December 2024.
In all, 5 presidential evening encounters will be held every week alongside 2 presidential debates and a vice presidential debate for some selected political parties. The National Democratic Congress has served notice that it will not partake in the presidential debate, prompting the Dr. Bawumia campaign team to also consider pulling out. Spokesperson for the Dr. Bawumia campaign team, Dennis Miracles Abuaji, has been loud on this, but the Institute of Economic Affairs says it is not in the position to compel any political party to participate in the debate.
It is a matter of conviction, not compulsion. We cannot compel anybody to a part of the exercise, but we will do everything possible to convince all those interested and qualified.
Right, Prof, thank you for staying with us. And so that's the position. The IEA says they will not compel any party to participate in the debate. And the concern from those of us who are watching is that if the NDC and NPP are both out, it dwindles the relevance of the debate to our democracy, doesn't it?
Debates have their advantages and disadvantages, and I've done a lot of research on debates. If you would recall, I worked with the IEA from 2004 to 2018, and during the period we held several presidential debates, and that pushed me into writing extensively about debates. So I know what debates would do for a country's democracy, but at the same time I know the disadvantages of debates. The history of debates in Ghana shows that generally sitting presidents shy away from such activities. The only time we had a sitting president participate in presidential debate was in 2012, and that was simply because Prof. Mills died, and President Mahama had just 3 months to campaign, and so he needed a platform. Before the death of Prof. Mills, the NDC that was in power had already indicated that they were not going to be part of the debate, but they had to do a youth. And so generally, sitting presidents do not they don't participate in debates. But just in the lead up to this particular 2024 election, we heard Vice President Baumia asking that there should be debate between him and President Mahama. And I had my own reservations about that call, because I thought that for me, one of the critical reasons why debates will have to be conducted is when we are confused and there is no clarity between the policies of political parties. Well, it appears to me that Ghanaians know in their life the differences in terms of what these two main parties stand for. And so I had my reservations for calling for the call made by the ruling party for debate. But let's put those reservations aside. Now the opposition party is saying that they don't want to accept the call to debate. And there's no way the debate organizing body can force them. And if the opposition party says they would not respect or respond to that call, I think there are other political parties, Alan Chairman's, Ghana,
and the rest are there.
Movement for change is there. And so the ruling party can debate them. But if they don't want it, then that's too bad for the debating tradition in Ghana. If the NDC is saying they won't do it and MPP says they won't do it, the IEA can still go ahead. In 2016, these two parties boycotted, but the IEA still went ahead to find a means to bring about debate among the other parties. And don't forget that we have close to 30 people contesting or showing their clear intention to contest for the presidency. And so let them find a way of bringing about dialogue and healthy contest of mind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, as always, Professor Ransford Gyampo, who is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana, also a lecturer. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
In more news tonight, NPP flag bearer Dr.